All right, so how did we get here? What is SRSD? I hope I've got you hooked now. First of all, SRSD always begins with reading. We don't begin with writing, we begin with reading. One of the things that's distinctive about SRSD is it's not the use of mentor text or model text. That's been around for a good while. But one of the things that is distinctive about SRSD is the use of mentor or model text that is clearly written at the child's writing level. One of the things we see happening in classrooms is children being given mentor and model texts that are at their reading level, but they're nowhere near their writing level. Because I can read it doesn't mean I can write like that. We've worked hard to come up with, from children, sometimes writing them ourselves, from teachers, come up with mentor model texts that children can read and say, "Oh, that's not that different from me. That's a good model for me. If I use my strategies, if I use my tricks, if I use my skills, I can write like that." And that has been key to our success with children. And it simply leans on everything we know about good and effective modeling. Good, effective models are models that anyone can see themselves being able to be like. And for children, this is really critical. SRSD also focuses on the development of knowledge, such as vocabulary, background knowledge, and understanding of the characteristics of good writing, which, by the way, is no big mystery. We do know what the characteristics of good writing are, needed to use the strategies you own. Interactive, explicit learning of strategies for genre-specific and general writing is inherent in SRSD, and SRSD leans on and is rich in discussion and cognitive modeling and collaborative modeling and peer work as major vehicles for achieving these goals. SRSD is child-centered. SRSD is student-centered. But SRSD is teacher-driven. Teachers know what they're doing, they know why they're doing it, they know how to do it, and both teachers and students are in charge of learning powerful reading and writing strategies. We explicitly develop self-regulation of strategy use and the writing process. How do we do that? We teach, practice, and reinforce goal setting, self-assessment, self-speech, and self-reinforcement. There's more, but that's enough for today. We deliberately work to develop self-efficacy for writing, the belief, look, I can do this, I can write. We develop attributions through discussion and tracking progress to strategy use and the student's own effort in using those strategies and making them work and making them theirs. We develop attitudes, more positive feelings about writing, and we develop and support motivation to write. And all of these things are tailored to the needs of the individual students in teachers' classrooms. SRSD is many more things as well. It's differentiated to meet the differing needs among students. When teachers are working with a classroom of 20, 25, 28, 30 students, there will be many levels of writers in that classroom. By the 4th grade, a teacher will have students still writing at around 2nd grade level, all the way through students who are able to write at more of a 6th grade level. Although talking about grade levels of writing is misleading, you get the picture. Therefore, the basic goals for all students, the goals we've been talking about, need to be combined with specific goals for individual students based on their current writing performance, their own strengths, and their own needs. Another critical characteristic of SRSD is that it's criterion-based. What do we mean about this? It means simply that if children have to be able to do it, and they do, we've already established that, our children must be able to write narrative, persuasive, and informative text. Giving students the time they need to own strategies, to master skills, to become writers, means that children need to proceed at their individual paces, and that we need to privilege writing in the curriculum to allow the development of these powerful writing abilities across the grades, from kindergarten through 12th. SRSD is also a problem-solving method of instruction. It is not a scripted method of instruction. Teachers are the core. Teachers are the heart of SRSD. Teachers must be in charge. Only the teacher knows her or his students well enough to know when to push this, when to back off that, how to bring this through, how to take what you learned in writing this morning and use it in social studies this afternoon. So teachers are in charge. We believe in and have great faith in our teachers. They simply need to be provided with the knowledge and the materials and the skills that can make a difference in their classrooms. SRSD is framed within 6 flexible, recursive, and highly interactive teacher-student, student-student, whole class stages that serve as a meta plan for instruction. We won't go through all 6 stages in depth today. They are called Develop It. We're working on background knowledge, attitudes, and beliefs. Discuss It. We begin to introduce characteristics of effective writing and aspects of genres that need to be understood. Modeling It. We do a great deal of collaborative modeling. We memorize the mnemonics that stand for the core elements of a strategy in a genre. We support writing. That means that before children write alone, they write together and/or with the teacher, making sure all the parts are there. This is the stage where we gradually reduce support. We gradually reduce prompts and working memory aids and so forth, and the student becomes an independent writer who owns the strategies.